As you learned in the previous lesson, product managers should leverage quantitative and qualitative data to measure and evaluate success after a launch. The real value, though, comes from combining these two inputs for even more robust insights. Here's what I mean. Imagine that a month ago you launched a new feature that's particularly relevant for admin users of your product. You look at data in your product analytics tool and see that the majority of these users engage with the new feature in the first 2 weeks, but only a small fraction of admins return to the feature after that. While interesting and maybe surprising, this data point alone doesn't really tell you much. To help add context to this adoption data, you'll want to understand why admins didn't continue utilizing the new feature. You might send out a targeted in-app survey or correlate product usage data with NPS data from the same time period. Let's walk through some more specific ways you can leverage data to evaluate a new product or feature. To start, you'll want to keep a pulse on key metrics related to the usage of what you launched. Here are some examples for a feature launch. The first metric is user adoption rate. This measures the percentage of users who have adopted the new feature compared to the total user base. Next, there is feature usage and engagement. You'll want to measure the frequency and depth of user engagement with the new feature. Metrics like the number of sessions, time spent using the feature, or specific actions taken within the feature can provide insight into how actively people are using it. Another metric to keep in mind is conversion rate. This is important if the new feature has a conversion element to it, like signing up for a service or making a purchase. Compare the conversion rate before and after the feature launch to assess its impact on the desired user action. In addition to tracking specific metrics, it's important to examine how users navigate the product as it relates to the new functionality. 3 useful analytics tools for doing this are paths, funnels, and session replay. Paths help you discover what users are doing before or after using a specific page or feature. The sequence of actions that users took before or after the target event are shown as steps on the path. For a new feature, this allows you to understand how users arrive at the feature and/or what they do next after engaging with it, which tells you more about their needs and use case. Funnels allow you to measure how users move through a defined series of steps that you want them to follow. For example, you might want a visitor to start at your main dashboard, then select your newly launched feature, and then move on to a different key feature. Funnels tell you if a visitor followed this route, which helps uncover areas of friction. Session replay enables you to record and visually play back a user's session in your product. It captures clicks, mouse movements, and page scrolls and shows exactly what a user did inside your application. This means that after you've launched a new feature, you can easily see how users are getting to it, engaging with it, and what they do afterwards. You'll also want to continue doing customer research and collecting feedback. Just like during the discovery phase, there are some key methods to keep in mind. The first is user surveys, where you'll collect structured feedback and ask specific questions about the new functionality, usability, satisfaction, and overall experience. Next, there are user interviews, where you'll conduct one-on-one interviews with selected users to delve deeper into their experiences. This is especially useful if the feature you launched is geared towards a specific subset of your user base. You might also leverage in-app feedback in the form of a feedback button, a chat widget, or an in-app survey or poll. This makes it easy for a user to provide feedback while they're already engaged with the product and doesn't require them to context switch or leave the application. Sherpany, a meeting management platform serving organizations across Europe, started using in-app surveys to collect timely and relevant feedback. Compared to previous survey efforts using email, the in-app surveys have been 100 times more successful. They've also seen a 10% lift in user testing recruitment and now interview 1 in every 10 users. These valuable insights help ensure that Sherpany can continuously optimize the product and user experience and take the guesswork out of feature planning and prioritization. Also, be sure to monitor customer support channels like the support ticket queue, chat logs, and community forums. This will help you identify any common themes and recurring problems that could signal the need to improve new functionality. Finally, you'll also want to monitor social media channels, as users often share opinions here that they might not submit in another channel. Another area to pay attention to is customer sentiment. For example, by using Net Promoter Score. Start by examining NPS data from before and after the launch to see how this new product or feature influenced sentiment. It's also valuable to correlate NPS with product usage to see exactly how sentiment differs for users who have engaged with the new feature compared to those who haven't. Thomson Reuters, for example, combined NPS with product usage data for their Checkpoint Edge platform, which helps finance professionals streamline their research with help from artificial intelligence. After launching a new AI and machine learning powered search engine, the product team leveraged track events in their product analytics tool to analyze engagement. From there, they created a segment of users who completed a specific tracked event, then generated an NPS report of those users and compared it to a segment that had not engaged with the track event. This allowed the team to better understand the impact the feature had on user sentiment. As I mentioned in the example at the beginning of the lesson, product managers benefit most by combining quantitative and qualitative data for even deeper insights about a new product or feature. A great tool for doing this is a dashboard that lives within your product analytics or product experience platform. Dashboards allow you to house multiple widgets together in one place and are an effective way to curate performance data for a specific initiative. For a feature launch, you might create a dashboard that includes widgets for feature use over time, in-app poll responses, NPS, and perhaps a list of your launch and adoption goals. You might even add data for other features to the charts to compare how the new feature stacks up against similar existing features. Dashboards also make it easy for other individuals and teams across the organization to self-serve and use this data for their own initiatives. Foreground, a platform that connects families and individuals with world-class photographers, utilized a dashboard in their product analytics tool to evaluate the success of a new payment gateway they recently launched. The team added both quantitative and qualitative data to the dashboard, including feature use by visitor and responses to in-app surveys about the specific feature. Housing all of this information in a dashboard made it easy for anyone in the company to view the data, and they've been able to use these insights to inform their future strategy for the payment gateway. Finally, don't forget about the business outcome you identified in the early stages of planning before you kicked off the lifecycle motion. You should also make a point to examine this data, but you'll likely need to do so after more time has passed. For example, if you're trying to increase retention, you'll need to wait several weeks or even months to determine how the new feature impacted customer retention numbers.